Good noon everyone, welcome back to your beloved Drawback Chess Speedrun series, the perfect 100% win rate series even though we are playing chess. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. Today we're climbing from 6500 to 6600 rating points. Hedonic treadmill, you must move a piece at least as valuable as your opponent's last moved piece. Absolutely diabolical. Reveal drawback to opponent. E4. E5. My opponent counter revealed. Evil twin. If you can capture a piece with a piece of the same type. Exempli Gracia, capture a knight with a knight. You must. Okay, that sounds like a really good challenge to take advantage of, but my drawback is actually much worse. He can actually just move his king forward and take everything on my board, and I will have to move my king, and both of us only move kings for this entire game. He moved a bishop instead. I will also move my bishop. Queen h5. This game is going very wrong very quickly. He's threatening a scholar's mate, but now I can only move my king or my queen. Therefore, I have to defend with my queen. It is actually fine. If he really wants to take, then at worst we will only trade queens. Losing my queen is a bit problematic because the queen is the best piece to tackle my drawback, but I actually only need one single pawn move. As soon as I can move a pawn, I will win this game. Bishop takes f7. You know what? I will actually not take it. King d8. My ultimate goal is to get a pawn move, and the only way I can get a pawn move is for my opponent to make a pawn move first, and king d8 just coincidentally provokes my opponent to push his d-pawn to open up his other bishop to attack both my queen and king. I win. d5. E takes d5 is forced. c6. D takes c6 is forced. Queen takes f2 check. C takes b7 is forced. Queen takes e1. First game is a win. That was close, but that's just what it is in a double reveal game. Either you win real fast or I win real fast. Second game, let's go. Obsession. Every turn, pick a random square. If you can move to it, you must. Reveal drawback to opponent. Ha! Revealing this drawback to my opponent doesn't even do anything. No one knows which square is coming next. This is my game to win. e4. e5. Knight f3. Knight f6. Okay, this time it is reachable. g3 is forced. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's not like that's gonna happen too often. Knight c6. Another free move. Knight c3. Bishop c5. Bishop g2. Well, I mean, now he can go bishop takes f2 check, betting on the fact that I will randomize a square that is reachable. But since the amount of unreachable squares is far more greater than reachable ones, I mean, he should be able to see that the odds are heavily in my favor if he decides to do that, not to mention that the chosen square can actually be f2 itself. Right? Of course. I'll take that pawn. There is nothing to worry about. Well, that's life. Third game, let's go. Third game was played at 6600 rating points. Devil on your shoulder. A devil is suggesting terrible moves for you to make. If you disobey it 7 turns in a row, you must obey it on the 8th. Diabolically diabolical, but I have played these games before. Reveal drawback to opponent. e4. So basically every 8 moves I have to make the arguably worst move on the board. As long as I can keep my king safe and not get forced to blunder the king, everything will be absolutely okay. d5. Take knight c3. Trading queens is also really good though, because sooner or later I will be forced to blunder my own queen. That future is completely inevitable. Queen a5. Bishop c4. But before trading queens I need to castle my king real fast, or else the devil is gonna force a bonk loud. c6. Knight f3. Bishop f5. Castle. Alright, the king is safe. Now we attack. e6. d3. Queen b6. Alright. It is move number 8. The devil has come. Knight b5 is physically forced. Only having to blunder a knight on a devil's move is actually such a huge achievement. Literally minimum loss, because don't forget that our opponent also has a drawback. We just don't know what it is, but he is still having to suffer it at this point. And he didn't even take my knight. Why? Oh well, who cares anyway. d4. I don't have time to retreat the knight. Every move is important. d4 can also stop him from sacrificing his bishop at my king. Now he takes my knight. Okay, maybe his drawback is something like he can only capture on odd-numbered moves. We can very easily test it out right now. D takes c5. He can still capture on an even-numbered move. Okay, now I have no idea. Bishop d3. Knight a6. Another weird move. Maybe he couldn't go to c6. I guess his drawback is something like you cannot go to some random squares every move, which can also explain why he temporarily didn't take my knight a few moves ago, but it doesn't explain why didn't he just wait a few moves until his knight can go to c6 to develop it normally. This is really confusing. Bishop e3. And he didn't even move his queen. Now I have no idea. Even if my guess is correct, there is just no way all of the queen's available squares are forbidden. I won't guess his drawback anymore. Bishop takes c5. Knight takes c5. C takes d3. Knight takes d3. Aha. I see. This guy has already calculated that I will be forced to blunder my queen to the devil. Unfortunately, I don't think I can avoid it. Queen takes d3. Knight f6. Alright, queen d5 is forced. And he once again doesn't take it. I'll just take his knight. g6. Queen takes b5 check. At least he can move his king, right? No, he cannot. Queen takes the king. Your opponent's drawback was scorched earth. You can't move to a square that you've moved from. Aha. I see. The system thinks his drawback is easier than mine, but I personally think otherwise. My opponent's drawback is set for him to certainly lose if the game drags on till the end game, and that still doesn't explain why he didn't take my knight on the first devil's move. But anyway. 2 wins and 1 loss. Drawback chess speedrun today. 100% win rate.